Welcome to A Cyster and Her Mister, a podcast where we show you the real behind the scenes of how we balance the PCOS lifestyle in our marriage, gluten and dairy free. I'm Taline, your fellow sister and registered dietitian.
And I'm Sirak, husband, engineer, and PCOS personal trainer. We're gonna make PCOS a little less overwhelming and a lot more fun.
Cyster and Her Mister.
What's up, sisters?
Hey, sisters.
Welcome to episode 11. We are here.
We're going to talk about metformin and Ovasitol. And if you're watching our YouTube version of this podcast, you can see behind us, we have this gorgeous Valentine's Day wall hanging
I was
decoration.
like, where is she going? I was like, where is she going with this YouTube endorsement?
Yes.
And now I find out it's about the glitter
I went
heart
on
shapes.
Amazon
Yeah.
and I was like, how do I make Valentine's Day happen? Our first year of
Hold
marriage.
on.
How do we make this a little more pizzazzy?
I don't think you've shown people. Like, I came home yesterday or 2 days ago, and the wall is covered with this string with the hearts hanging, but also the patio door, the screen door that's glass.
The window.
Is like covered in stickers that say "kiss me" and like hearts.
You know
And
those decal.
I mean, I'm flattered. This is cute. I
And the
feel like
toilet
I'm living.
paper.
I was getting there. I feel like I live in the 90s with all these stickers. And then I go to the bathroom, and while I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, all right, I'm about to close the door. You know, I gotta
Do your thing.
do my thing. And then Talian says, "Oh, have fun wiping." And like, obviously, I'm like, what? And I look at the toilet paper, and of course, it's like this Valentine's Day toilet paper that has like hearts and says, like, it said,
I love the shit out of you, but then it doesn't say shit. It has a poop emoji.
excuse you. But yeah, it was pretty funny, and yeah, it's cute. You know, I appreciate it.
Nothing like a little 90s tacky throwback.
Yeah, I guess.
Just kidding. It's not tacky. It's fine.
Yeah. Put my order in for the flowers. You can say that right now. Did some hard work, you know.
Oh my gosh. And I got these heart-shaped cookie cutters, and we're going to make pizza, but we're going to cut the salami
Yes.
in the shape of hearts.
Oh, the salami.
That's
I
gonna
thought
be
you meant
our
the dough.
Valentine's Day.
Okay.
No, we're going to get the dough from Whole Foods.
Yeah, the
We're just gonna get
cauliflower.
the
But we
crust.
can't like cut that into a heart shape and
Sounds
just
like
eat
a
it.
lot of work that I'm
What
not
do you
going to put
mean?
myself through.
I can get a knife.
Maybe they
Curve it.
can make it in the shape of a heart. Maybe they're doing that for Valentine's Day.
I mean, maybe there's special requests, you know, like when they make it.
We'll ask.
For those that don't know, if you go to Whole Foods, you can ask them to give you a cauliflower crust for your pizza.
Yes.
And it's literally just a crust that's like ready to be put the toppings on and like put it into the oven, and voila, you have a gluten and dairy free pizza.
Yeah.
As long as you don't put cheese on it first.
You can get the dairy-free cheese, and just
Yeah.
if you don't like it, mask it with a whole bunch of vegetables and salami and
Yeah.
ground pork.
Daya
whatever.
makes some really good pizza like non-dairy cheese.
Yeah, non-dairy cheese.
What is it?
Daya.
Sprinkle cheese.
Shredded.
Shredded cheese. That's right.
Sprinkle cheese.
I mean, I don't know.
So,
Yes. Let's get into the
Let's
topic
get into
of
this
today's episode.
a lot of you have been asking us since the moment that I have uttered the words Ovasitol.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is it? And is it the same thing as metformin? And should I take metformin? And the side effects. And so we are here to answer all of these questions and debunk.
I believe like almost every woman that gets diagnosed with PCOS, they either get prescribed the birth control or metformin.
Yeah.
Everybody's story, like they always say, I don't know what to take. There's no other options. They told me to take birth control or metformin. Should I do that? So
Right.
yeah.
It's because so many women, 70% of women with PCOS have insulin resistance. And so basically, like, if the first thing that they give is metformin to tackle insulin resistance, you know, it probably works for 70%. So, you know, they just give that out, give out the birth control and say, you're fine. But there are other options. And so Ovasitol is one of them. And we're going to go into why.
Yeah. And you're probably wondering, like, some of you, like, what is metformin? Just to give you a quick description, we'll go into more detail later. Metformin works.
a drug.
It's a drug. Works in two ways. It helps your cells respond to insulin, and then it reduces the levels of sugar produced by the liver as well as the amount of sugar your stomach and intestines absorb. So that's like the
That's
generic,
the function of it.
yeah, the function of it and like what it does.
And in turn, that helps with reducing your insulin resistance of your cells.
Yeah.
But it's found to be an endocrine disruptor, which is a chemical that's mimicking hormones in your body. And just like birth control and just like BPA, like these are all disruptors for your endocrine system. And it seems to be doing more harm than good for women with PCOS. So it's commonly prescribed, and I'm sure I was offered it, certainly, and I said no because I knew that there were other lifestyle and diet changes that I could do which would work equally, if not more effectively, than metformin.
Of course, and although like metformin can definitely work on some women, but the thing is, like, you want to try the natural path first. Like, why not changing your diet and taking a natural supplement instead of putting your body on like a prescription drug? Because as we all know, like with birth control, getting off of metformin is also very difficult, and you're gonna have symptoms just getting off of it. Some like, because it's some artificially made drug that your body's not used to. Yeah.
Exactly. And just so you're informed, before you make the decision of getting off of metformin or staying on metformin with the advice of your doctor that you trust, because you go to a trusted doctor if you listen to us.
Yeah.
Before, you should know that inositols, which is Ovasitol, a combination of inositols, work just as effectively as metformin. So consider that when you're making a decision on how you're going to tackle your insulin resistance. And speaking of insulin resistance, I want to make sure everyone knows what this is, because I talk about it a lot because so many women are struggling with it. And this is something that you should know like the back of your hand, because this is the root of most PCOS. And there are several root causes of PCOS, but insulin resistance is like the most predominant one. And it can spiral out of control and turn into diabetes if you don't do something about it. And so
how does it,
what's happening? What's happening to your body, and why I was told that I was like I was pre-diabetic at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it like because like the lifestyle, like the impact it was having on your like endocrine system? And
I was in college and I was eating like however I was eating, which I thought was pretty healthy, like sandwiches, like regular meals.
Also the most common college like girls and like people just go to like fast food because they don't have time.
Yeah.
Like, they try to keep it on their budget.
I never ate
fast food. Okay,
that's
good.
Was not like, because I was just used to my mom's cooking and like healthy food, and our cafeteria was good. It's just that I was not eating gluten and dairy free, and I was eating like chocolate, candy, whatever. Like I wasn't thinking about it. Like if it was there, I was like, sure, because I wasn't aware of my body and like what was harming me the most.
Yeah.
And so basically what's happening is when you're eating sugar or a lot of carbs, like too many carbs, I'm talking about like past 150 grams or you're exercising a lot. What's happening is there's a lot of sugar in your bloodstream after you break down those carbs to sugar. And then the more sugar there is, the more your pancreas is going to send out insulin, which is a hormone that picks up that sugar and puts it into your cells so you can burn it up. But the more insulin tries to, hey, cell, open up and take this sugar, the cell becomes more resistant to it, because that's just what happens. Like insulin keeps bombarding it. The more resistant to it is, the worse your PCOS symptoms get, because that sugar ends up storing as fat. And then that insulin hormone goes to your ovaries and triggers you to produce more testosterone, and all of these other PCOS symptoms happen. And not just that, the more inflamed your cells are for whatever reason, whether it's gluten, dairy, stress, lifestyle factors, whatever reason that is causing your cells to be inflamed is also causing them to be more resistant to insulin. And then insulin's knocking on the door of your cell, and then it's not opening up. And then basically more insulin is sent out from your pancreas because it's not like doing its job, and then it gets worse and worse.
All right. I'm going to need to listen to this podcast myself and like these words. I was so much information here.
I know. And then
This is great.
diabetes, because your pancreas gets tired of pumping all this insulin all the time because your cells are so resistant. So anyways, I know, rewind, listen to it again, really understand what's happening. Now, once you understand and you want to make new lifestyle changes, it will make more sense to you and you'll be more inclined to follow them because now you know why you have cravings, why, and let me tie this to cravings really quick.
Okay.
The more insulin you have in your bloodstream that's not able to put the sugar into your cells to burn, the more cravings you have because your body thinks that you don't have enough sugar in your bloodstream. And you need sugar because you have all this insulin. There's just an overflow of insulin from your pancreas. So you have cravings now. So now you have cravings, you're tired because your cells aren't burning the sugar for energy, and you're gaining weight because you're not burning it up.
Yeah.
And so here we are. Insulin resistance, PCOS out of control, almost diabetic.
I mean,
I'm done with my spiel.
as you guys can tell, I can stay in my lane and let the dietitian talk. Let the expert do her thing while you just observe and pay attention.
Well, you can, there's working out too that can
Yeah.
drive insulin resistance further into the ground.
Of course, that's why we say do slower workouts with incorporating weights, because that helps your body to pick up the sugar in the blood, and therefore your insulin resistance is under control, and you get more results that way because your body's sugar isn't spiking and is just balanced throughout the workout.
Yeah, slow, controlled, weighted workouts.
When you do that fast workout and you're running or you're kickboxing and you're sweating and you're out of breath, your body is depleting all of its sugar, sending it into the blood and trying to give you energy, and then just throws everything out of whack.
Because you're not able to burn it up because you're insulin resistant. And then because you're not able to burn up that sugar that you're supposed to be burning while you're doing this 1 hour long run or high intensity workout, it stores as fat. And then you wonder why you're gaining more weight for doing Orange Theory, or your weight isn't moving. You're cycling all the time. Yeah.
And to be honest, it's so much cheaper to go that route, to go the slow weighted route, because you either need to be signed up to just a gym, or you can do it at home easily, just buy a couple of dumbbells and stuff, and if you know the right workouts for the regimen and stuff, you just do that, and
we got you, ladies. We have workout videos in the sisterhood.
That's true, we do. But just if you do those simple things, instead of paying for
impact.
a $500 class over 2 months or something, and then you don't see results, and then you feel horrible because you didn't get the results you want, but you tried your butt off. But then too, you feel oh, I wasted my money, or oh, they bamboozled me, or it's just it's all this negative energy, and then you never want to do it again.
Yeah,
that's the thing, you never want to do it again.
Exactly. I
hate when that happens, because I understand why that you're feeling that way. I wouldn't want to do anything
if it's not gonna work.
If I go through that kind of experience,
after spending all that money.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's just because the knowledge isn't really out there, and not everybody knows. We're all used to the whole old school traditional work harder, run, and you'll see the results you want, and but you got to be smarter about it and more efficient.
Exactly. So we want to inform you about what metformin is and what Ovasitol is, and some of the research behind how they work.
Yeah.
They both work equally as good as each other, except metformin has side effects.
Yeah. And just a thing, there's no need to freak out and eliminate your your carbs, or count calories, or just go on a crazy restrictive diet. I mean, just today I was messaging somebody on Instagram, and they were saying how oh, should I just do 1,000 calories today or something, or 600 calories, and me and Tyne were next to each other, and I was oh my goodness, that's so restrictive. You do not need to cut your calories like that. There's people who just do a 2,000, even slightly more.
Yeah. Or I had a client who ate 2,200 calories and lost weight.
And they lost weight. And it's because it's about what you eat, what you put in your body, and the kind of movements you're doing with your body that really dictate your results. It's not about restricting or going on like a diet where you're cutting out all fats or all like carbs or something.
Because that causes stress, and then more stress means more inflammation and more insulin resistance.
And that really like gluten and dairy free is like one of the best options for that reason. Is like it's not a restrictive diet. You can still eat, like we mentioned earlier, we're gonna eat pizza for Valentine's Day. We're gonna go out to a restaurant, have steak and French fries one day, maybe. Who knows? Like there's like all these options that we always have that we can still enjoy our lives and not feel like we're restricted in any way.
Exactly.
So that's my spiel.
You say it like it is, honey.
Yes. So
we told you how metformin works. And it can have its place. Sometimes it works for some ladies. We're not here to like bash on metformin. I've heard of it working. But oftentimes it doesn't. It has so many terrible side effects.
Yeah.
And it doesn't significantly improve fertility or ovulation or giving like lasting weight loss results.
It also depletes the body of vitamin B12, which is really important. That's like what gives your body energy and like it helps your body repair. And it's also very important for like detoxifying. And unfortunately, metformin is like now recognized as an endocrine disruptor, and like just like birth control, it's like it just acts as this chemical like substance.
Exactly. And so that's the last thing you want, because B12 helps you detox. Now you're missing B12 when you're taking metformin, and metformin's acting like a toxic substance in your body. And your liver is struggling to detox anyway. So it's like this whole awful combination of negative side effects.
Yes.
And I'm saying, why do that when you have a natural option?
Yeah. Like we'll get into later
why
Ovasitol is like a natural option that is also very similar to how metformin, like what the function of metformin is. And like another thing that metformin does that's really bad is like it alters your gut microbiome, and like it's like
that's critical.
It's very critical, your gut, and like what this metformin does is like it burns like your good bacteria. And like, am I right? Isn't that one of the most critical things in your...
The gut health environment is so critical because it helps with inflammation. So if your stomach is not doing well, the bacteria in your stomach, and if it's being altered by taking drugs like metformin or birth control, whatever it may be, that inflammation that it's causing is going to further drive issues with PCOS, insulin resistance, and so on. Then that stress, like overall stress in your body.
Yes. And like the gut is really important. Like just on its own, without like forget metformin for a second, like the gut is a really important factor in your daily like diet. Just make sure that
your mood and everything.
Yeah, like they've now linked the gut, basically your stomach, to your brain, and like they found neuron like transmitters that have just like the same amount of like feeling as like your brain. It's crazy. Like they're now saying like
it's
the way
connected.
you eat and like all this stuff is connected to like depression and like
because once you have inflammation from eating poorly, you feel depressed and anxiety ridden.
And obviously that's not the only problem what you eat. There's like other factors like why someone has depression, but like it's one of the factors that can make it worse. And so it's very important that like you have a good diet with like where you incorporate probiotics. There's like supplements you can buy, and like I take one probiotic supplement a day. So just try to think of your like balancing your gut biome, because it's when you take it like something like an antibiotic, it completely destroys your gut biome, and then it takes your body about 2 years, sometimes longer, to repair and completely replace all the good bacteria that was there. So like obviously antibiotics is very important in some cases, and like you need to take it and like
to fight off
bacteria things. Yeah, of course.
But
just keep in mind though, it's gonna destroy all the good bacteria in your stomach, and when that happens, a lot of people have like stomach problems, cramps, issues. So just if you ever do antibiotics, just make sure you go on like a strict probiotic regimen afterwards.
Interesting. And like you said earlier, when you get off of metformin, you're still going to suffer because now you've altered your gut microbiome. And then now you have to repair that after you get off. And you need
take
that
probiotics
for insulin
if you are
resistance.
going through that. Like if you just got off metformin, or if you're taking metformin, go ahead and just start taking probiotics. It'll start helping with your cramps, because we'll read later, we have some people who gave in their testimonials about metformin, or not testimonials, I should say comments, what they feel like it did to them, and a lot of them had stomach issues.
Right.
So I think that's directly
a lot. I'm talking about 90%.
Yeah.
There was like one or two people that are like, oh, you know, I got used to it, then I was fine. But then like the rest,
they were like, there was like IBS issues, there was like diarrhea, there was cramps, constipation.
It's like, why go through all of this when you have another option?
Okay. So also we should mention though, if you take metformin alongside of Ovasitol, you could be at risk for hypoglycemia. So like, we don't recommend doing that, obviously, but also just talk to your doctor about these medications and supplements you take. Like, do not stop taking metformin without consulting your physician. You know, just first talk to your doctor, make sure everything is okay. You can go off metformin, and then you can, just have a clear path instead of just like, just going off of it. So just be aware of that.
Find a doctor that knows about inositols and the power of Ovasitol, because they are out there, and then there's some that aren't familiar with it because maybe they haven't kept up with the research. But there is recent research about this saying that they work equally as well, and Ovasitol is natural without the side effects. Yeah.
And in summary, before we go to Ovasitol, like metformin can have some beneficial impacts on the regulation of sugar or glucose. But as we said, there's some various supplements and lifestyle changes that work better.
Exactly. Yes. Income. Ovasitol, our favorite supplement for PCOS.
Yes.
Ladies, turn up the volume. Okay. Should I tell them what it is, or do you want to tell them what it is?
I'll let you make the first introductions.
Okay. Duh! Ovasitol. This is a supplement. It's this powder. You can put it in water twice a day with meals, with breakfast, with dinner. Drink it up. All right? Colorless, flavorless, a little bit sweet. And it's made up of a combination of inositol. So it's made up of myo and D-chiroinositol. And so they're combined in a ratio of 40-1, which is similar to the ratio that they should be found in your body.
Yes. So there's myo, AO, and then there's chiro, and they come together, AO, and they made up a BA 40-1. All right. That's how you remember this, okay? You make this song in your head. This is the song to remember. AO.
Vitamin B8. And they're blended in a ratio of 40-1, which is the same ratio that it should be found in your cells. So the thing is, with PCOS, we're missing that ratio of inositols. We're missing it. And that's why we're struggling so much with insulin resistance. So, there's the whole lifestyle. We don't know why we're missing it. Is it natural, or is it because of the way that we've eaten in our lives, or how we've been working out, whatever? It could be. It's genetic. It's passed down genetically. Most women and their sisters and mothers have PCOS. I mean, if you have PCOS, mostly your mom or your sister might have it too, or your cousin. So what I'm saying is it might be passed down genetically. So you might be off with your inositol ratio, and Ovasitol is the perfect supplement to go in there and supplement you. Yes.
And it's the great thing is it's colorless and tasteless. So you can put it into almost anything, like water, obviously, but tea, like decaf tea, or like anything you're drinking, just put it in there. So obviously smoothie you can put in there, and it's not going to alter the taste. Yeah. And you just have it twice per day with your meals, like a smoothie, like I mentioned, if you're having that, is perfect.
Exactly.
And
there's some awesome research on this. According to randomized controlled studies involving inositol supplements in women with PCOS, inositol.
Can I ask something? Huh? What is inositol?
Inositol is vitamin B8.
That's it right there.
And it's found in fruits and nuts and beans. And they created a powder out of it, however they did that. Ayo. Yeah.
Awesome.
Any other questions? I'm sure sisters have questions out there.
No, let's continue. I'm loving this. We should mention, by the way, Talian's sister is currently taking Ovasitol.
Yes.
Goes to show you how much we believe in this supplement. Talian takes it every day.
I take it.
She gives it to her sister, of course. She like always is recommending it to people. Like,
you don't have to take it if you don't feel. I mean, if you've taken it for 3 months, because it comes in a 3-month supply, and that's enough, and your period is regulated, and all of your symptoms are starting to get in control because you're changing your lifestyle too, then you don't really have to continue it unless you feel like you still need it. And I sometimes feel like I need it, so I don't take it every day, but sometimes I take it like during wedding planning.
Yeah.
I felt my blood sugar being like a roller coaster from stress, or like, there's just times in life when I feel like insulin resistant again because it's genetic. It's like in me. I constantly have to control my PCOS.
Yeah.
And do and everything I do every day is to make sure that I'm healing my body and it's in remission and I don't have symptoms and my skin is clear and my period's on time and things like that. So yeah, we can't heal PCOS and like you don't have to take Ovasitol forever, but you can do all of these things to really boost your cells, get them where they need to be, and then just continue living your life according to whatever whatever allows you to not see such horrible symptoms.
Yeah.
If that's having a little bit of cheese, if that's
comes a point where you manage it so well that you don't even think about it most days.
Yeah.
Like me and Talian most of the time hey, how's your PCOS? Like
never.
Because she's like has it so good under control that I'm never worried about anything,
Yeah. Sometimes I have cheese. Last weekend I had a little bit of cheese. Broke out a little and then I was like, okay, it's fine. Everything's still under control.
I mean, he had like 2 bites. So
yeah, no, it's fine. But I found the balance,
Yeah.
Like 99% of the time, I'm gluten and dairy free.
That's the important thing.
So can I finish the research I was reading, babe?
Okay, I'll just go in my corner. I'm sorry. Yes.
Inositol provides improvements in almost all pathological conditions, in PCOS, according to this study. It says recovery of reproductive abnormalities, decreased androgen levels, and improved insulin levels were a result of taking inositol. And in 2019 in Italy, there was a study on similarity and differences of myoinositol and metformin.
By the way, we have Italian fans. We were talking to them on Instagram the other day. So hello to Italy.
We love Italy. Positano.
We were there for our honeymoon and we're going back again this summer to celebrate our 1-year anniversary because we love it that much. Let's continue.
The researchers noted that the only real difference between metformin and inositol is the adverse side effects of metformin. They found no difference in an insulin or testosterone results between metformin and inositol. And people who took myoinositol did not have any adverse reactions to the supplement. But people who took metformin found to be 5 times more likely to have side effects such as nausea, diarrhea, lactic acidosis, weakness, so on.
Wow. That is...
So it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's, as you can see, it's a lot of symptoms related to like these gut issues and...
gut issues.
Yeah.
Diarrhea. Like, oh my gosh, somebody was replying in the DMs with that poop emoji. I was like, how did you feel when you took metformin? And like, that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, honey, you poor thing. Okay, let's go on to the DMs then.
The DMs. This is when Talian asked, how did you feel when you took metformin? A lot of fun responses here. So let's go through these. L Liberty says hell.
That's all she says.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
I mean, that's a good one because you feel like all this like angst, you feel anxiety, and then like you have all these symptoms with your stomach. That's like
your
definition of hell.
Starting.
Yeah. I want to read this name because they say horrible, so much diarrhea.
Oh gosh.
So with multiple O's.
Awful.
Diarrhea spelled correctly, but a lot of O's. Federica Stooney says, great. The only thing that bothers me is a change of taste on any food. So it looks like she had a good response to it, but the change of taste in your mouth, that means your taste buds are being... Oh no, that's because you're having the taste of metal in your mouth, right?
Yeah, that's one of the side effects of metformin, tasting metal.
Wow.
We can do better than
Well,
that.
do you know why that
does not
is?
mean it's great.
Is that from your blood? Is that the iron from your blood that's
I'm not
being
sure.
depleted or something?
No, I have no idea.
I'm making
but
that up.
I read that was a side effect.
Ishanyan or Ishanyan Gul 94 says, made no difference, lost weight and gained it back.
Okay.
So it wasn't a sustainable thing, as we mentioned earlier. A lot of these prescriptions and stuff, like, they don't provide you a sustainable solution. It's like this pill.
Yeah. With Ovasitol, once you take it, and it helps regulate your period, it helps with insulin resistance, so you can lose weight, like all of these things. Then you stop taking it, and you're healed. Like, you're not reliant on this supplement to see results. Like, it heals you get regular periods from then on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are results. Why should you take something that's not going to work long term?
Yeah, totally. Kay Brakeman says, didn't work for me and made me feel sick the whole time.
Awful.
There you go. Like, this, a lot of the symptoms, and as we mentioned, it's not always doesn't always work. I was about to read the email, but I'm gonna stop there. She says, had the worst diarrhea ever. My doctor switched me to a slow release metformin, and I fainted. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's awful.
Can you imagine you take that and then now you're scared every time you're gonna take it that you're gonna faint or something?
It's because your blood sugar drops. Even with Ovasitol, you have to take it with food so that you.
Oh, that's probably what it is. Yeah, if maybe you took your metformin on an empty stomach and that is what happens. So always with these kinds of things, take it with food so your blood sugar doesn't dramatically drop.
Exactly.
I think that's all the DMs.
I mean, there were hundreds.
There was so much.
That's all that I typed out.
I even noticed. I was like, babe, how come there's like so many messages today?
I know.
It was way more than like, what we
before.
always see. And like, it was because so many people had an opinion about metformin, while there was, good ones, but there was a lot of bad ones. I think I would say the percentages were like 95% bad and 5% good. If I had to like kind of summarize.
There were like 3 good ones.
Yeah, you think so?
And I put one of them here.
Yeah.
Which was the one who said great. The only thing that bothers me is the metal taste in my mouth. I don't know if that's good, but she said great, so I put it. So we have our wins of the week. And one of them I want to shout out. This one's for Ovasitol.
We have 2 wins this week.
Yeah,
you usually have 1. Okay.
Well, there were like really good ones, 2 really good ones this week. And
okay.
I have like a whole album in my phone, a shared album of Ovasitol testimonials, like hundreds of them from sisters who got their periods back after like years and years of not having their periods, who have lost weight, who feel better because it helps with anxiety too, like in higher doses, inositols help with anxiety. You can even take it as a supplement for depression. Wow. I'm not saying it's going to solve everything, but there are studies that it helps with depression. And so basically what I'm saying is all these testimonials, I picked one of them from Rachel Lebraska, and she's from the Sisterhood. She posted this in the chat forum for all her sisters to read. And she wrote, 3rd month on Ovasitol, 2nd period in the records. This is the first time in years I've had 2 in a row. Wow. No cramping. It's not as heavy. I've always had horrible symptoms before and during my period, but this one I felt completely fine. Gluten and dairy-free and Ovasitol really are healing. Thanks, Talin. That's the best combination. You can't just do Ovasitol and like eat however you want. Combining it with gluten and dairy-free.
That's an awesome story. I love that, Rachel. Congratulations, and keep on going on. Like, it looks like you're really like getting everything under control. So
good job. And then, babe, do you want to read this other one? This was an email I got. We're not going to say her name because she wanted to remain anonymous because you'll see why once Sirak reads it.
Okay. All right.
Except for me.
All right. Let's read this one. Hi, Talin. After being diagnosed, I was so frustrated that I had it. My mom and my sister didn't have it. Why did I have to be blessed with it? I started doing some research and quickly became conflicted with what I needed to do to manage my symptoms and get things under control. I was told so many different diets to try, and all of it seemed too overwhelming. And to be honest, part of me wasn't willing to give up the food I loved. Man, this is like a heartfelt story. Like I feel this girl's story right here just reading this. It's like Emily Dickinson right now.
Read the rest, babe. It's really good.
I had been following your Instagram account for a while, and when end of December rolled around, I was tired of being stagnant and not doing anything to fix it. Your course was released, and I committed to just try something. All right.
The meal prep and workout course.
And I just finished the 4-week course. It was so hard in the beginning, but as time went on, it got a bit easier. Within the 4 weeks, I lost 8 pounds, ovulated for the first time, and today I got a call from my doctor that I am pregnant. I have been bawling all day, and I can't even believe it. Hold me now. Woo! She says,
girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
All caps. All exclamation.
Amazing. This is such a great story. I'm almost like...
My jaw dropped. Our course got someone pregnant.
Wow.
We got someone pregnant.
This is crazy. Like...
I know. Amazing
results. Oh my gosh.
It's just so incredible. Here's the thing. You're balancing your hormones. You're actually doing something to balance your hormones, and then that is resulting in weight loss. 8 pounds in a month is perfect. You want to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And then she ovulated, which means that her blood sugar was under control because she reduced all this inflammation and insulin resistance by going gluten and dairy free. And then she ovulated and she got pregnant. That's crazy. That's wonderful. I'm so happy for her.
This is the trio of the results you want.
This is exactly
the Holy Trinity.
And we wish the best.
Everybody wants something different.
Everyone,
but if this is something,
not everyone wants to get pregnant.
If these are some of the things you wanted, that's a great thing. Obviously, not everybody wants to get pregnant, but like you definitely want some of these results, and it's just so great to see somebody go through that process and reverse their symptoms and like now come out on the end. Hopefully, in her case, she continues to be, like
having a healthy
pregnancy and like ovulating and all that good stuff. So like this is just a great story. Like even if you don't want the pregnant part or another part, just know that there are stories out there like hers
and solutions, and we want to motivate you by reading all of them. So if you want to order Ovasitol, we have a 15% off code, and you can find it in the description of this podcast.
Yes.
And the link to purchase it as well.
And just know this is something like we truly believe in, that Talin gives to her sister. She takes herself every day.
My own sister.
And like you see it in her stories all the time. And like we wouldn't be suggesting something to you if we didn't truly like believe
back
in
it up.
Back it up.
It's literally the only supplement that I shout from the rooftops for PCOS. I know there's others out there. There's so many. You can spend lots of money on supplements, but I'm trying to help you minimize it and help you go gluten and dairy free and take one supplement at a time and see how you feel.
Yes. Also, like, just note, this is not an advertisement.
No.
They didn't tell us to come on this podcast and suggest it to you. Like, that's not at all like how like this happened. This is something we truly believe in, that we would suggest to our mothers if they had PCOS
my
to take.
Sister, myself, thousands of women. I'm all about it.
All right,
sisters. It was so nice chatting with you.
Yeah, this was a great podcast. I hope you found it informative,
I
and
hope
definitely listen to it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would listen to this like 3 to 4 times. I'm personally gonna listen to it twice. I mean, I always listen to these before they publish, but I'm listening to it thrice now. All right.
Talk to you soon, ladies.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come check out The Sisterhood. It's my monthly membership site where sisters just like you are learning how to move through the stages of PCOS. From stage 1, cold and alone at the doctor's office, to stage 5, nailing the PCOS lifestyle, gluten and dairy free. Get ready to finally feel in control of your body again.